Good evening and welcome back to the BiGDUG Studios on St. David's Day. So today then we're going to use our mats and use our abdominals. So let's come down onto the floor. So starting then in tabletop position, let's just bring the hands and the knees to the mat, knees at hip width apart, hands and wrists underneath the shoulders. So as you inhale, look forward and dip that back. Exhale, round chin to chest, pull the belly in. Inhale forward. Exhale, round. Two more then. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale for me. And just bringing yourself back into that tabletop position. Just pressing the weight of the bum back towards that right heel, taking it over to the left and circling forward. So small or as large a circles as you like. Inhaling forward and exhaling as you take it back. Just starting to warm up through the body. And let's just reverse the direction then. So bringing it forward, over to the left, to the right. Slow and controlled. Last time then, and just bringing it back into centre for me, back into that tabletop position. Just check those fingers are nice and spread on the mat. And we're going to take the right hip to the right elbow and left to left. So just wagging the bum side to side. Starting to warm up through the sides. Remembering to breathe in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And bringing it back into centre for me. Just draw the big toes together and take the knees to the outside edge of the mat. You're just going to push the weight back and come into child's pose. So bringing the forehead down, just relaxing through the shoulders. And just bringing the attention into the breath. As you breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. 3 more breaths here then. Just feeling the day's stress slip away as you breathe in and breathe out. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up to tabletop for me, just squaring those knees off, and then you're just going to come round to sit on the bum. And you're either going to cross those ankles or just leave the feet out a little bit further in front, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And just rest in those hands, either palms down or palms up, whichever, just above the knees. And then I just want you to lean the chest forward and circle it back. So starting to give a nice massage through the digestive system here. So inhaling forward and exhaling back. Don't worry how big or small the circles are. Staying relaxed through the shoulders. And let's just take it in the opposite direction. So breathing in and breathing out. So scooping that belly as you go back. Once more then. And bringing it back into centre for me. We're going to turn around and come to lie on our backs. So placing the feet then about hip width apart, extend the arms out and just slow and controlled roll it all the way back down. Just letting the shoulders come to the mat, palms now face up towards the ceiling, and you're just going to move those heels a little bit closer into the bum. So from here, as you inhale, tip the pelvis towards you and press that lower back into the mat. And exhale to release. So tiny movement here. Inhale, tip the pelvis, press the lower back in, pull that belly button through to the spine, and release. We've got 3 more then. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more. Tip that pelvis, press the back, and release. Last one then. Inhale, really press that lower back in, and we're going to hold here then for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep pulling that belly button through to the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just release it off for me. So extending that left leg out across the floor, draw that right knee in, hugging it in nice and tight. Don't worry how far you can pull that leg in, it doesn't matter. And then we're just going to swap legs for me. So pulling the left one in, so slow and controlled. And switching. So just pressing that lower back into the mat. And switch. Once more each side then. Just pulling it in nice and tight. And last one. And then you're going to draw that right knee in to join, hugging them in nice and tight, and just give a rock side to side here for me. And then just bringing it back into centre. From here I want you to drop both knees over to the right as you take the hands over to the left, just to give a twist through those abdominals. Just relaxing through the shoulders. Inhale to switch sides then. Hands go right, knees go left. And switch sides. And last time then. And bringing it back into centre. Knees point back up towards the ceiling for me. Just if you need to give yourself a little bit of a shuffle around, just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, go ahead. So we're going to extend that left leg out again and pull that right knee in. This time I want you to just lift the shoulders and upper back off the mat. So neck stays nice and long, lower back stays pressed in. And from here, we're going to switch legs. So switching. If you find again that is too much for the neck, you can drop the shoulders back down to the floor and just switch legs. So using that lower abdominal. So your choice, shoulders off or shoulders back to the floor. Keep pressing that lower back in. Gaze is up and slightly forward. Two more then. And last one. Draw both knees in, and if the shoulders are raised, drop them back to the floor and give a rock side to side here. And bringing it back into centre for me. Just place both soles of the feet back onto the floor. Just give yourself a little bit of a shake to make yourself a bit more comfortable. And from here then, tip the pelvis to press that lower back into the mat. You're going to lift the right leg up, 90-degree bend in the knee, and place that right hand or that right palm onto that right thigh. Now you can stay here with the shoulders, or you can lift those shoulders off the floor. Your choice. Just concentrate on keeping that lower back into the mat. You're going to press the hand into the thigh as the thigh presses back. So engaging through those abdominals. Try not to hold your breath. If you want to and your shoulders are lifted, you can place that hand behind the head just to give you a little bit of support. You don't have to. So keep pressing, breathing in and breathing out. So lower back stays pressed in. For 5 more here then. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it all down. Just give the shoulders a shake. Tip the pelvis again, lower back presses in, left leg lifts with a bend in the knee, and either keeping the shoulders on the floor or lifting them up, pressing that left hand into the thigh as the thigh presses back. So we're concentrating here on keeping that lower back pressed in to engage through those abdominals for me. Try not to hold your breath and try not to press down on the mat. So you can turn your palm up if that helps. Pulling that belly button through to the spine. We've got 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it down. Then just draw those knees in, just give them a hug in nice and tight, and a rock side to side if you want to. Bring the feet back down to the floor, just reposition yourself if you need to. Tip the pelvis, lower back presses in, right leg lifts, right palm against that thigh, and lift the shoulders if you want to. So pressing the palm in, thigh presses back, abdominals pull in. Remembering if you need, you can cradle that head, or you can keep the shoulders on the floor. 15 more here then, so really pull that belly in. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it all back down then. Just give yourself a little bit of a shake. Tip the pelvis, lower back presses in. Last time with that left leg then. Palm against the thigh, lift the shoulders off if that's comfortable, and press. So keeping the neck nice and long, belly stays pulled in, lower back stays to the mat. Try not to hold your breath. Got 15 more here. If you want to check that your abdominals are engaged, if you just place that hand on top of the belly, you should feel a nice tightness. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it all back down. Draw those knees back in, hug them in nice and tight if that feels okay. And if you want, you can give us rock side to side for me. Coming back into centre. Let's place both soles of the feet onto the floor. And we're going to drop the knees open so the soles of the feet come together. Now don't worry if the knees don't go down to the mat, that doesn't matter. So you've got a choice here. We're going to turn the palms up towards the ceiling. And you can either keep the shoulders on the floor, or you can inhale to lift those shoulders off the floor, engage through those abdominals, press the lower back in. And you're just going to take the left hand to the left knee, back to centre. Right to right, back to centre. So in your own time, just taking it to the knee and return to centre. Remembering if you need to, you can stay with the shoulders on the floor and still take the hands towards the knee. Your choice. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Keeping that neck nice and long. Remembering any pain in the neck, drop the shoulders back to the floor. So just using those obliques here. One more each side then. And bringing it back to centre. Just lift a little bit higher if you can. Bring the hands to the centre of the thighs and pulse for 10, 9, 8, pressing that lower back in, 7, 6, 5, 4. Remembering if you need to come out at any time, just relax it back to the floor. 3, 2, 1, hold it here and release it back down. Bring the knees together, draw them back into the chest. Hug them in nice and tight, and again if you want, just give a rock side to side. So bringing it back into centre for me. So placing the hands by the sides, we're just going to extend the knees out. So the knees are over the hips. Now if you find that the back's coming off the floor, just tilt them a little bit closer towards the chest. You need to keep that lower back in. And from here then, we're just going to drop one toe, bring it back up. Next toe. Now if that's too much, you can drop a heel down. And if you find that if you're dropping the toe or the heel to the floor, that lower back's coming off, just take it down as far as you feel comfortable with. We need to keep that lower back in. And remembering if you need to bring the knees slightly closer towards the body, that's absolutely fine. Press that lower back in. Try not to hold your breath. Remembering when it starts to feel tough, this is when we've got a few more left to do. Really pull that belly in. 2 more each side. Last one to the right. And last one to the left. Draw those knees back in, really hug them in tight. And then from here, we're slowly going to place the soles of the feet back onto the floor. And extend the arms out overhead as you extend those legs out to give yourself a full body stretch. So you should feel a nice stretch through the abdominals. Really stretching away. Holding here, then pointing the toes. Breathing in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, bring the hands down by the sides as the knees come back into the chest and hug them in one more time for me. And then from here, slowly roll up to a sitting position, or seated position even. Taking the feet then to the outside edge of the mat if you're feeling a little bit flexible. Otherwise, just bring them into hip width apart. Place the hands just behind you, just to give you a little bit of stability. Drop both knees over to the left, and then back over to the right. So over to the left again, and this time we're going to take the right hand around and walk ourselves as far around towards the back of that mat as you can go. Now you can stay on the fingers and palms, or if you want to, bring yourself down onto the mat. Just rest that forehead in, just creating a twist through the torso. Relaxing here through the shoulders. Two more breaths then. And as you inhale, bring yourself back up. Walk yourself back around to the front. Just check that you've not slid off the mat a little bit. Reposition your feet. Place the hands back where they feel comfortable. Drop the knees over to the right, to the left, and to the right. And they're going to stay to the right. Take the left hand around and walk yourself around to the back of the mat, or as close as you can get. Then staying on the palms, the fingertips, or the forearms and forehead, just to give a twist through that body, easing out through the belly, giving a twist to the sides. Two more breaths here then. And then when you're ready, just bring yourself back up to seated. Taking ourselves back around to the front, repositioning those feet then so they are hip width apart if they weren't already there. I'm just going to wiggle down to the front of my mat a little bit, extend the arms out, and once more slowly roll it down. So pulling that belly in as you go, chin is off the chest, all the way down to the mat for me. And once you're there, just relax in those shoulders before drawing those knees back in. And then from here, we're going to extend the legs up. So don't worry if they don't go up straight. You can leave them with a slight bend. It's up to you. Tilt that pelvis again so that lower back stays pressed in. And you're just going to do a little circle with the feet. So even if you're lower down, that's fine. Concentrate on keeping that back in. So whichever you feel comfortable with. A little bit lower down. Or you can just keep those knees bent and press that lower back into the mat. And then reverse it for me. So slow and controlled. Doesn't matter about a little knee bend. Just keep working through those abdominals. 4 more then. Back presses in. 3, 2. Last one. Draw them back in. Hug them in nice and tight. Breathing in. And big breath out for me. So from here then, we're going to extend that right leg out across the floor and lifting that left one up. Now if that is a little bit too much, you can keep them slightly bent on both. And you're just going to switch. So switch. Lower back stays pressed in. They don't have to go to the mat. Pull the belly in. If you want to lift the shoulders up, you can do that as well. You don't have to. They can stay on the floor. One more each side before drawing both knees into the chest and dropping those shoulders back down to the mat if that's where they were up in the air. Just hugging them in nice and tight. You can either hold behind the thighs or you can grab onto the front of the shins, your choice. 2 more breaths here then. And then when you're ready, release the legs and bring the soles of the feet back onto the mat. Still at hip width apart and just make yourself nice and comfortable. Then we're just going to peel that spine up off the floor. So as you inhale, tip that pelvis towards you. As you lift up, all the way, as high as you can go. So keeping the ribs pulled down. Knees and ankles stay in the same direction. And slowly roll it back down. So using those abdominals as well as you pull the body down towards the floor. And relax when you get there. Inhale, tip the pelvis, pull that belly in as you peel that spine up. All the way to the top. And slowly, slowly roll it back down. Mounting it down bit by bit, controlling as you get to the bottom part of the spine. Last one then. Inhale. Pull the belly in, roll up. All the way. You're going to hold at the top for me. Holding here, pressing down through the feet. Remembering knees, hips, ankles, feet all point in the same direction. And slowly roll it back down. All the way. Last one then, inhale. Pull that belly in, tip the pelvis. Lift it up. And bring it back down for me then. then just draw those knees back in one more time. Hug them in nice and tight for me. And we're just going to go into rolling like a ball. So all you're going to do, roll yourself up onto the sitting bones. So keeping those abdominals pulled in nice and tight. And then slowly and controlled, roll it back to the shoulders. And slowly roll it back up. So pulling the belly in, trying not to use the roll. Take it back down again then, all the way. Slow and controlled. Coming up onto those sitting bones. 2 more then, roll it down. Just giving a nice massage to the spine as well here. Pulling the belly in. Concentrating. Last one then, we'll roll it all the way down. And bring it once more up into that boat pose. So if you want to, you can either stay here, just holding onto those knees, pulling the belly in, or you can extend the feet out and extend the arms out. So what I don't want you to do is slump through the back, the chest stays lifted. So you can always keep those knees pulled in. If you need to hold onto the shins, pull that belly in. Chest is nice and proud, heart shines forward. Holding here then for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees in if they're not already there and slowly roll it back down. Pulling those knees in nice and tight. Giving yourself a rock side to side if that feels good. Bringing it back into center. Placing both of the soles of the feet onto the floor for me. Making sure the big toes are nice and close together, then drop those knees open one last time. And if it feels comfortable, extend the arms up overhead, link the fingers together and press the palms away. Now if that's uncomfortable for the shoulders, you can leave the hands by the sides, or you can just take the hands into that goddess type posture. Your choice. Letting the knees fall open, stretching through the belly. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down by the sides and slide those feet out for me. So just relaxing into the mat, just giving the shoulders a little bit of a shake. Just closing the eyes here for me. Feet are about hip width apart. Just let them fall open. Palms are by the sides, facing up towards the ceiling. And just bringing your attention into your breath. As you breathe in through the nose. And a big breath out through the mouth. Breathing in, belly rises. Breathing out, belly falls. Just letting the body become heavy. Shoulders relax. Feet fall open. Jaw softens. Breathing in and breathing out. Becoming present only in this moment. Releasing the tension in the body. So staying with the eyes closed, starting to bring that awareness back to your feet by moving your toes. And bringing the awareness back up through the legs. Up through the belly as it rises and falls. Up into the chest. Across the shoulders. Down through the arms. Through the hands. And all the way to the fingertips, which you can move. Breathing in. And big breath out. And then when you're ready, open up the eyes for me and slowly bring yourself to seated. And once you're up, spinning the feet around to the front for me, where you can leave them out in front, or you can draw those heels in nice and close towards the bum for me. And just placing the hands just down behind the shoulders, wherever you feel comfortable with. Press the hands into the mat as you push the chest forward. Just letting the shoulders come away from the ears. And then as you exhale, just round forward. Just bringing the hands down to the mat or the forearms or the forehead. Just creating a bend in that back. Just letting go of any tension that may still be here. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up to seated and just place the hands above the knees for me. Just relax through those shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, close the eyes. Taking the time to just connect with the sounds around as you breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just letting go of any final tension in the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Two more breaths here then. And then when you're ready, open up the eyes, bring the hands back to the heart for me. Namaste. And thanks for joining us once again in the BiGDUG studios. For those of you celebrating Shrove Tuesday, enjoy those pancakes. For the rest of you, we'll see you either tomorrow at 12:30 or next week. Stay safe.